Good morning, it's day 7, my final day, so I'm going to be running around like a headless chicken, listening to the WhatsApp group info, chasing anything that comes up that I haven't got on my list. So just a little beginning to the day. I haven't given the flamingos enough love. I've kind of taken them for granted that they're everywhere. So when I pulled up just on the way to Matochi Lake, where I'm here now, Matochi, I filmed a bit from the roadside because they're in decent light. The sunlight isn't too strong yet. And yeah, I couldn't see anything else smaller. Usually there'd be shell ducks, common shell ducks and ruddy shell ducks over there. And coming down to the Matochi Lake, a tree with 4 of the black-capped jays in it, which is great because I've been trying to get some sort of record for you to see. I got them really well in roads, so that's good. They're having a scuffle in the tree, which was really nice. And then at the bottom of the lake here, a black-headed bunting singing for me, bold as brass. I was listening to it from behind. I couldn't quite make it out. I went, what is that? And I turned around. There it was. So I took loads of snaps from every angle, trying not to scare it. I was very tempted to get even closer and get some good shots. But I wanted to tell the group, so if anyone hadn't seen it, they could come along. So I kind of drove, when I'd finished, I carefully drove around it. But just before I'd finished all my video and photos, I heard a Chetty's warbler, and then I heard it coming from the tree, and I looked, and a little bird next to it. So I got a Chetty's warbler and a black-headed bunting in the same photo. Awesome, what a great day. And then I have seen the hoopoe fly across there. So black stork, no crakes or anything yet, so I don't know what's going on with those. Okay, I just had the most epic encounter. I don't know how I spotted it. I'll get to it in a second. Now, I finished off with the Matochi Lake. It was very quiet there. A couple of the guys with scopes were seeing the little crake, but I want the other 2. I think it's called the Balians or something like that, and the spotted. So I'll try again at the river later, but not had those. So people are obsessed with these crakes. There must be lifers for these people because I'm getting so many lifers. Anyway, I'm waffling on a bit. It seemed a bit dead. I was speaking to another photographer and he said, yeah, it's so quiet, isn't it? Suddenly this flock of bee eaters arrived above our heads. So it's like, oh, I'm going to bother taking photos, whatever. Then they started coming down and splashing into the water like the swifts and the swallows do. And I was like, oh, we both got our cameras up. I'm like, see, this is what happens. You doubt a place and it says, watch this. I got a bit overzealous zooming in and I'm a bit angry at myself. I missed way more opportunities than I captured. I've got a few bits and pieces that will clear up nicely. But yeah, just if you zoom too far back to get them in the frame, you have to sort of crop in, which is not great. So you kind of zoom in and you forget how far 1280 millimeters is on this lens. So it was over by the time I'd sort of got my act together and started capturing some good shots. But some of those are really nice. And I tried my luck with the swallows coming down. None of these will probably be keepers. They're a bit too distant. It's amazingly difficult to track them. Even when you got them in frame, they suddenly disappear as the frame jumps around. I got a usable Swift photo. I think I'm going to keep this one. There's a couple in there where I remember locking onto it and it the sun hitting the back of it. So it's well lit. So I think I'll keep one of those. And then I saw a squawko heron as I was chasing the bee eaters on an island. So I got a bit closer and it took off, and backlit flight shots, not great. I mean, I can clean them up a little bit. Sometimes backlit works, Hey, chetties. A lot of chetties here. And heard a hoopoe, heard a what are they, cuckoo, heard a cuckoo. And then the last thing was somebody called it out, squawko heron, took off from the other side of the pond in the perfect sunlight. And it was like everyone could just gear up and set there. You know, I had to actually, when I saw it coming, the wings were blowing out the highlights. I had to quickly up the shutter speed to bring it down, and it just bang, 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 bang as it flew past. And I can select almost every single one of those shots is sharp, and I can take 2 of those out to keep. Really, really nice. Yeah. Anyway, so we gave it a bit of time there, and I thought time to move on. It's getting a bit, the day's running on a little bit. I want to go get a coffee. So I'm heading to the village colony for a coffee. There looks like some cafeterias there. And driving slowly, looking over this what is it, a creek, a river? Looking over the side really slowly. Little kind of white blob that normally turns out to be a bit of plastic or something. And I thought, okay, stop, reverse back. Whatever it is, it's not moving. It's probably plastic because it would have gone by now. It's a bird. I've got my camera on it. It's a little bittern. And it's so little that I'm actually thinking, do they have least bitterns here? It is so small. I mean, look, I saw it. Look, here's what I'm looking at. There's my iPhone camera pointing at the area. See if you can see it. I mean, it's obviously in the center of the screen, but that's all I saw was this white little, the chest, because it was in bits of sunlight and bits of shade. So the photos, I'm gonna have to work on them to sort of bring down the highlights and bring up the shadows a bit. But I got some really great video, just filmed and took loads and loads of pictures. And it was chill. It was the tamest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I did go to put it on. I was clocking the tree above it so to give people an idea where it was. And I got distracted by a jay. I haven't had a picture of one of those yet. And by the time I looked back, it started sort of climbing out the reeds and then flew. I went, okay, well, there's no point telling anybody now. But I mean, it's like those moments, isn't it? I mean, the little, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a juvenile. It was so small, crazy. And then a Dalmatian pelican in the distance, managed to go into the 4K crop, and some pretty usable footage there. Better than that one I had at the hide the other day, which made it a lifer. I'd love to get a photo of one, maybe if one comes down lower. The day is still young. I've still got about 8 hours to go. I'm gonna have a coffee, pep me up, and see how things play. That's if today's anything to go by, it's gonna be a completely different day, as every day has been, and I should get some good stuff. I'm at 131 species, 30 lifers. I'm not gonna stress myself. I said 150, just as a sort of, you know, a number, a round number, but I'm not going to panic. There's no way I'm getting 19 species out of this. So I'm happy with that number. That's good enough for me. Well, we've just been hugging the Secneus River. Hope I've pronounced that correctly. I've had to say it several times. I've got it. Secneus. To Secneus River, I believe. Anyway, we've had some good bee interaction. There's a JCB and this dead tree, and they seem to love landing in this tree. Managed to get flight shots, sitting in the olive trees over almost on south of the JCB. The owner pulled up and, hello, how you doing? I'm not stepping on his toes. While I was sitting there and getting all the footage and photos, a couple of doves flying in, and straight away I could see they were darker than the collared doves, so turtle doves, but too distant for any kind of decent footage or film. I seen a hoopoe flitting about the place, and I just happened to have my camera in the right angle, the right settings, leaning out the window, and it flew past and I got it. I grabbed a shot, bit of a crop, but that's nice with it flying. It's sharp. I'll be able to clean and upscale that pretty nicely. What do you think? Then, I mean, not that I filmed it, there were at least 3 or 4 buzzards going past, always hoping for something a bit more unusual, rough leg, long leg, blah, blah, blah. What's the other one? I've seen the goshawk, terrible footage, which was up there several days ago at the Raptor viewpoint. But what's the other thing people have been seeing? Oh my goodness, I can't remember, but there's at least 3 or 4 raptors I haven't seen since I've been here. They'll have to come on another trip one day. Eastern olivaceous warbler. Now, there's Ceous. Is it olivaceous or olivaceous? If I say it both, then I won't get into trouble. You won't laugh at me. I'll say olivaceous, and then you can all correct me. Singing, a little bit of it singing. There's a solar farm, small solar farm, going down on the right-hand side, and I spotted a shrike. Maybe it might have been the lesser grey shrike from last night, but it was I put it through the Google Lens, and Merlin both confirmed it was a redback shrike. Then I saw, obviously I'm not going to the exact location, I saw bee eaters nesting. I've seen this kind of nesting behaviour where they nest. It was building nests. A lot of heat haze. The camera wouldn't stop sort of bouncing in and out of focus. But it was tapping away. Even I could see other holes. It was tapping away, making a fresh hole. And little Crake at the first ford came out and gave me some. I shot a little bit of footage and I didn't take a photo, which I should have flicked a photo quickly. I thought it looks like it's going to be out for a while, but once I'd finished filming, it zoomed into the reed. So I still haven't got any kind of photo of it, but I've got plenty of footage. I'm happy with that. And then the snipe I made the mistake of on the first day. I've seen it, the common snipe. I don't think anybody else has mentioned it, but it's about 150 meters, 100 meters north of the first ford. Obviously it likes that area. There was a bittern there, right out in the open, a little bittern. But after that one, I got up at the Metochi Lake. I didn't even bother filming that one. I just saw at the first ford. And then there was a small bird, smaller than a wood sandpiper. So something looked unusual about it, and I've been trying to confirm whether what I'm getting is Temminck stint or little stints. Took a picture of this. This did look different to the other stints I've been getting. Taken pictures, I've run it both through Merlin and Google Lens, and it's both said Temminck's. And it definitely looks unique to what I've seen. Obviously, I know some birders now. I'm going to point at, there's a particular one I've been speaking to. Did you get the Temminck's? Did you get the Temminck's? So now I've got it, I can show him, and hopefully he's going to go, yep, that's it. And I'm going to go, yes. Right, better do a catch up because the list is getting away from me. We come down to the salt marshes, salt pans. Little turn, first thing we saw was a little turn. Slightly better shots than originally. Just, near the hide number 2. Terrible shot, but big flock of Spanish sparrows. They seem to, the house sparrows seem to hang around houses, and the Spanish sparrows go around in a big flock. Oh, I can just see some white stork out there. I'll get those in a second. They're a bit distant. Yeah, this is, we're getting quite a number of birds today. Today's been good for photography rather than new species. Which one's that? Wheatear? Winchat. I meant Winchat. Female Winchat. Now, it was a bit distant, but because it was on this tree, it made for a good picture. So there wasn't dead space around it. So I took that, and I'll keep that. That's a keeper. And then a crested lark just gave me a layup shot on the fence. So I took it. It was right next to the car, so why not? And then this male Winchat, I've been trying to get it flying for so long. And every time I angle my car round, I lose balance. I go to check something, look up, and he's gone. I've messed it up in so many ways. And then this time, I had it on the fence. I was just aiming right at it, and there was a car coming the other way. So my conscience was clear that I wasn't scaring it off to get the flight shot. I waited, I saw this car coming, and sure enough, the car scared it off, and I got it. And I got 3 really nice shots. The first one in particular is excellent because the wings are out. Really happy with that. And what a beautiful looking bird. The male Winchat is fantastic. Then by hide 3, got common and gold-bill terns. We're getting some really good pictures. Oh look, some flamingos are flying. I wish I'd caught that. See, every time I start filming, things start showing up. But it's good to see the gold-bill terns again. I couldn't get any over by the old pump house. They were coming down and taking drinks of water, but they were flying away from me, which kind of didn't make for good shots, so I didn't bother with that. Common sandpiper in the old pump house. The old pump house was very busy. I'm just going to be overlaying loads of photos now because most of it was, it's a lot to go through here, but just really, 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 really good shots. sharp shots of everything. So first of all, this common sandpiper, I'm assuming it's common sandpiper, very, very tame. Got multiple shots from different angles of him or her. Went in for the wood sandpipers. I've kind of left them alone for most of the trip because there's been so many of them. I thought you can get them on the last day once your list is full up and you're not taking the time. And now I'm trying to get some really good shots. So yeah, filled my boots with those. Plenty of wood sandpipers. The rough that were usually in the further pond with backlit, with a lot of heat haze. There were two, the pump house pond, the closer one, the one you can drive along next to. And again, filled my boots with those. I've got to check where that white ring is around one of them. Maybe one's a male, one's female, different plumage, different age. And I took video of those as well, just for my library. Then there was a Temming stint. Now, the one I'd gotten before, and I mentioned, I've had confirmed by other birders, said it's definitely a Temming stint. But this one here was even better because it was frame filling. The other one was in the middle of the river, so I had to sort of crop in a bit. But this one's beautifully sharp. And I got it in front of one of the rough, which shows you the size comparison. It would have been nice for an even bigger bird to be there too, but yeah, tiny little bird. Probably the only thing smaller than that would have been like a least sandpiper. Where are we now? Oh yeah, and the photos I got of the curlew sandpiper that were there a few days ago, and I only got some photos of them. There were 6 or 7 feeding here. Backlit, not great, but I managed photos and video. And I knew they were the curlew sandpiper simply because a couple of them were quite red and had definitely the beaks were noticeably more curved. I was putting this all out on the WhatsApp group, letting people know, because I know everyone loves the curlew sandpipers because of the red. And black stork came in, backlit blackbird. I took a couple of photos. One of them probably is going to be sharp. And I think we're caught up now. So there's some bee eaters in front of me. They are grabbing bugs out of the air. There's white stork in that field. I can see flamingo flying. I hope the flamingos might come over my way and I get some flight shots, because some of the ones that are flying are really pink, but they're too distant for anything that's not going to end up with heat haze. Phew, right. I think we covered everything. That's been really good. I'm going to pop down to the other marshes where I first came in the first day. I forget the name. I think it's Mesa, M-E-S-A. And a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, I think roller was spotted there. So fingers crossed, I might get some more roller shots. I'm not having my hopes up high. Somebody I spoke to today, been here the whole week, hasn't seen any. So the one I saw, the Sigri to, I forget the name of the town now, but the coastal town, I've got my roller. I'm very happy in my Eleonora's Falcon. Back at Matochi Lake to see if there's anything going on here. I'm going down every dead end, every road up a little hill and coming back down again, any back road, and no, nothing new, but I've been getting some really good photos. The bee eaters are on par with the ones I got in Faro. I found this section of over by Mesa, the marshes over there, where the bee eaters were kind of hovering in the wind. They were gliding in the thermals, and to the point I could focus on them. And the background isn't white out because they were lower down to the car. So I was able to get all of the color and the shot where they turn into the sun. And yeah, I mean, I did it from the car. I had to sort of watch behind me for cars coming up. Well, the marsh frogs are really going for it. But yeah, they're on par. These photos are on par with the ones I got in Faro. Absolutely spectacular. So really happy with that. It's been, yeah, today's just been bee-eaters crazy. I mean, every day's been completely different. And I'm just hoping for some last minute, I don't know, owl flying by or something. On the marshes over there as well, black stork. I just managed one shot as it took off from the reeds and then went back down again. Purple heron, adult purple herons there, gave me multiple opportunities for flight shots. Absolutely stunning bird. And because it wasn't against the whiteout sky, it's just, they look fantastic. You couldn't have asked for more. Wow, these marsh frogs. But yeah, the purple heron. I mean, I've got my fill. I think, what was the last time I saw them? In Malaysia, when they were hunting in that reservoir. Fantastic looking birds. And went down this little road like a farm, and I was just looking on the building, just in case there were some owls or something. So I put I was quite close, and with my naked eye, I saw the building. I didn't see anything else. And as I put my binoculars up, my bins, which are really clear, sharp bins, even though they're cheap, three wagtails of different colours. I think one there was like a blue-headed, a grey-headed, and a citrine. I'm not sure if it was a citrine, but I'm not on board with all the plumages. I don't know them all completely, but they seem to hang out in big flocks. There have been several big flocks of wagtails, all different mixtures: black-headed, blue-headed, grey-headed, and yeah, and a greenfinch even landed on the left of one of them. So there was obviously a mixed flock of birds. Marsh harrier, much better this time, hunting along the seafront, the section where the road is nearer to the sea, so it was forced to sort of come in a bit closer. Nothing great, but just sharper than all the ones I've got previously. And I went along this, you can go along this road along the side of the main road where you're not hassled by other traffic. And I mean, it looked like possibly there could be birds on the side, but they were just sparrows. Everything was just sparrows. But I'm sure, given the right day, that there could be some shrikes on post there. And finally went up into the mountains a little bit before turning round, and there was some olive trees with a pipe running through, and it was dripping water. And on those branches, I got a juvenile serin, and I had to look that up on eBird to confirm it. I couldn't quite make out what it was. I sort of knew it was a serin with a yellow side bit. And then the other one, which really got me, was a bunting. Is it a yellow hammer? What is it? What other buntings are there here? And a juvenile searle bunting. Obviously, having a drink here from wherever they're nesting locally around the olive groves. And that was it. There was nothing for the last sort of half an hour. I'm probably going to aim more for the sea end, because I'm going to lose that in about 10-15 minutes, and I'll get more light. I'll get another half an hour out by the sea, and then that'll be, well, it might not be being done. What I might do is, when I drive to the airport tomorrow, if I feel that I've got a little bit of time, I told the car hire guy that I'll be dropping off at 10. So if I'm a little bit early, I'll weave in and out of the back roads and I'll add that on. So at the moment, we've not finished yet, so it's not the final. Well, folks, that is a successful wrap. I don't know if it's more successful than I was expecting it to be, or it's as good as I was expecting it to be, but it has been epic. And that last couple of hours, I think I spoke to you about an hour ago, was brilliant. Nothing new, but I had some serious upgrades. The little river, or whatever you want to call it, whatever the correct term is, the stream, the creek that runs along the roadside to Matochi Lake, where I got the little bittern this morning, I did the same again just now. I drove along it really slowly, and because the light had gone, it meant everything was nicely diffused. The first thing I saw was a little crake. Now I thought when I hit the brakes, it's going to go. But it went into the reeds. I turned the engine off, reversed back a bit to allow it to walk through. And eventually it did come out. And I just fired away and fired away and fired away. I filled up my buffer, had to wait for it to stop, and then just kept taking photos. It passed this very surprised looking marsh frog, and I just got my fill. I had to go a bit high ISO, 3200. I could have gone lower, but because it was moving, I needed some shutter speed in order to make sure it was sharp, because it was continuously moving. So after getting literally no shots except some really slightly unfocused ones at night, nailed it, full on, just filling the frame. Brilliant. The only shame is I didn't get the other ones. I think they're called the spotted crake, and the begins with the B, baleen or Baliol, something or other. I looked out for that. There was no other movement of crake in terms of crakes. But next up was, I thought, is that going to be a little bitten? And it's slightly bigger, and it was a squawko heron. So fired off loads of shots to get my closest, sharpest, well exposed squawko heron photos, and then flicked to video, and it sort of stood still in the water and kept looking to its left. And I thought, I hope it would grab something like a frog or something coming out, and it never. It just kept kind of looking. But I've got it on video. It looks really nice. And super happy with that. Moved up a little bit more, and the smaller blob, and a little bitten, the female. Fantastic, fired off loads of shots. She wasn't afraid either. Nice, super sharp shots, and that lovely diffused lighting, perfect. Got enough of those in flick to video, and got it creeping through the mudline and the reeds. Amazingly happy with that. Can't believe it. I thought something else is going to come out now that's one of these onesies lifers, but it didn't. But I cannot ask for more than that. And then to round it off, I hadn't got any of those J photos. I got a bit of video earlier in the day, as you saw in the tree, but I hadn't got any photos of them. And then I saw them fly across the track from me, and I thought, right, get all the settings ready for flight shots and creep along. And I didn't need to, because it was sat on a fence with some nesting material. Fired off several shots, and I got, right, I've got enough now, let's go for a flight shot. Waited and waited, and it took off. But unfortunately, there were a couple of branchy reed bits in the way, but two decent shots, decently okay. I'll take those any day of the week, especially at such low light. Now, that's a wrap. Unless something else happens, I'll put it in at the end. As you know, I drive to the airport. There might be some sort of random owl encounter tonight. I drive to the airport tomorrow. It's kind of quickly get to the airport and then drop the car off and go. Unless there's some crazy raptor thing going on the way and I slam on the brakes, there won't be anything more. Again, I'm saying this before I've edited it. I apologize for the racetrack. I saw other people on the racetrack when I did the previous vlog, and I didn't see the rules about you don't drive on it. Somebody did say to me, you can drive on it. I'm not going to say who said it. So there's a little bit of, no, you'll be all right doing this, and no, you shouldn't do that. So as far as I can tell, you're not supposed to drive on the racetrack. People walk on it. You park up and walk. So apologies for that. I'm saying that up front because I've done the vlog already, and therefore I've got to kind of fess up. And also, people will have seen me in the car doing it and might have been upset. So again, this is an apology. I didn't know, obviously, after that, I didn't drive on it again. So apologies. I think that rounds it off. Any questions? I can't think of them right now. Leave them in the description. Apologies for any mistakes I've made in IDs, in pronunciations. I've had a wonderful time. It's been manic because I've had to record video, audio. Every night I've gone in, I have to download everything to my computer. My computer doesn't have enough data memory for everything. So I've been doing it onto a memory stick and an external hard drive to make sure I've got 2 copies of everything. And then hopefully I've not deleted anything, because I've had to completely delete the memory card on the camera to make room, and then fill it again with stuff. So I'm hoping I got everything off correctly. I'm sure I'll get home and find a little mistake here and there, but I'm sure I've got everything, because I've already checked my most important photos are there, like the roller, the scops, the Eleanorus Falcons, things like that. Less Kestrel. I think that's it. I'm going to have a steak now, because I've been it's bitty bits of chicken and bread and stuff like that, nuts, fruit. Nice big steak now, finish off. And I was going to talk to you with my cigar, but I'm sure that YouTube would shadow ban me if it saw any kind of smoking content, so I won't do that. I'm going to find someone with a match and probably have it. So that was great, folks. Come and give this place your business. It's beautiful, and looking forward to coming back. I'm probably going to do Cyprus next, as opposed to coming here, because I think I've covered most of the birds here. There's a few odds and ends, but Cyprus will have a lot more lifers for me. Okay? See you next time, folks.